This podcast contains explicit content.
Let's begin the show by starting it.
Hardly focused.
This podcast is hardly focused.
And it gets significantly more vulgar.
Dissecting the news one tangent at a time.
When there's nothing left to burn, you have to set yourself on fire.
Yeah. That's right. Watch it, kid. There we go. You can stay up.
Sir, we have to get going.
What?
We have to get going, sir.
I don't want to go.
I know, but it's time to go.
I don't want to go.
It's time to go.
I don't want to
Sir,
go.
it's time to go.
I don't want to go.
Come on,
I don't want to go.
I know you're having fun, but it's time to go. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Give the ball to someone else. Give the ball to someone else. Give the ball to someone else. Mr. President, give the ball to someone else. Give it to someone else. Give it to someone. Here. No. Don't do that. Here you go. Thank you. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We have to talk to the president of Argentina. Let's go. We have to talk to the president of Argentina. We had a lot of fun.
My friendship bracelet.
Okay, thank you so much. You're the president of the United States. Let's go. You didn't see that. That didn't happen. Thank you very much.
Oh my god, I have been waiting to be able to play that clip. I've been waiting a long time. That's from the President Show on Comedy Central. And that was Donald Trump getting forcibly removed from a classroom. The segment is called Donnie Goes to School. And that's Mike Pence removing him forcibly. Mike, I think you're familiar with that sort of cacophony, if you will.
Yeah.
And we'll get in the second segment of this episode. We'll talk about everything that's been happening with the election from the Republican side. But I actually, we're gonna kind of do an emotion sandwich here with this segment. It's gonna be I wanted to start off on a positive note, but this episode of Hardly Focused, available at hardlyfocused.com and on your favorite podcast app, begins with sad news. Right before the show, the news broke. Alex Trebek, longtime host of Jeopardy on your favorite television network, has passed away at the age of 80 due to pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
Pancreatic cancer is a death sentence. Once you get that, there's no way out. And Trebek knew that, and he had been posting updates and in regular check-ins with his fans, updating them on his prognosis, and he was shockingly optimistic for someone who was basically told you have X amount of months to live, and he was at peace. This is the mindset that people need to have. He was at peace. He knew it was his time. He knew he accomplished a lot. And I said this last week when Sir Sean Connery died, and Trebek made it to 80. Connery made it to 90. Trebek made it to 80. It's a life well lived.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't be too ashamed of hitting that mark.
No, not at all. And just the oddity of Sean Connery and Alex Trebek passing away in the same week.
I didn't think about that. Holy shit.
There's two things to that. First, it's my fault because I started watching Jeopardy again regularly.
Oh, you
Damn it.
asshole. Every time.
Fucking dick.
And the second thing, I guarantee you, and I don't necessarily believe in religion, but in the afterlife, I guarantee you, Sean Connery looking at Alex Trebek and saying, "Couldn't live without me, Trebek."
That's good.
You just couldn't do it.
That's good stuff, man.
So
I'll take penis mightiest for 1,000.
Japanish relations.
Just the way you like it, Trebek.
You wagered V, which, despite your best efforts, is a Roman numeral, and your wager, suck at Trebek. Ha ha! The day is mine.
0 plus 0 minus 0 equals 0. That is a number, and you wagered poop. Hey, it's a number, Trebek. Number 2.
Ha
I was definitely watching the Celebrity Jeopardy clips before the show today. To get myself prepared. Like I wasn't doing that last week.
I feel like they have,
Right.
I feel like SNL has to call back and get another Celebrity Jeopardy just that one more time next week.
Like a death special, like an afterlife special. They're all ghosts.
Yeah. So who else was on Celebrity Jeopardy that's died?
Burt Reynolds.
Turd Ferguson?
Yeah.
Turd Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds passed away a couple of years ago.
It's a big hat. It's a big hat. It's very funny. Yeah. Burt Reynolds? That's not my name. Turd Ferguson. What do you want? You buzzed in. No, I didn't. That's your opinion.
I like when they
I may have seen him once or twice.
when they do Final Jeopardy and Burt Reynolds just goes, yeah, don't bother. I didn't write anything.
Thank you very much. Good man.
I mean, you could have Kenan Thompson doing Bill Cosby because, Bill Cosby's career is, for all intents and purposes, dead.
That's true.
That's a good idea.
That was the last one I watched before coming up to the studio. It was Bill Cosby, Sharon Osbourne, and Sean Connery, and Amy Poehler doing Sharon Osbourne. Just perfect, absolutely perfect. Like I said, pancreatic cancer not something people generally come out of, but Trebek was very positive. He was very optimistic, and was planning to work right up to the very end, and I think he did. I mean, the episodes that are on Jeopardy right now are all new episodes. I'm wondering what they're going to do if there's going to be any big fanfare around what was ultimately the last episode that he recorded.
Yeah, I wonder if what they're going to do. It's interesting to think about, but like you have to imagine that they have something ready, like because this has been about a year, right?
Yeah, it's
more than that, right?
Yeah, which is great. To say the least, is something. I can't say it's great, but there's people who get that diagnosis and within the week.
6 weeks, you're like, oh, well, yeah, you lasted a long time. 6 weeks, you're like, you lasted 6 hours. Oh, that was an average amount of time.
Yeah. So that's some perspective for me because I actually had a family member that was diagnosed the same exact time that it was announced for him, and within 2 weeks, I was going to the funeral. So it was like, okay, so that puts things in perspective. So he did have a really long time to, say his goodbye, which is grateful. And he did live a really great life. Still fucking sucks, but he went into it like a champ. You gotta fucking appreciate what he went into it. He was like, you know what? I did everything I wanted to do.
Right.
It's like, man, that's something we should all put on our
I got nothing else. I'm just going to keep on doing the show till I can't do the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to sign off and say thank you, everybody.
And I'm so glad that he got that opportunity as opposed to he's just too sick and he can't do it. And he has to just wait a week or so without being able to do it. He did it right up to the end. And there's something to that.
Yeah. And I think he knew it wasn't worth, he was getting treatment for it, but at the same time, just given his age, wasn't worth going all out. I mean, y'all got to go sometime. Not to also discount your loved one there, Nate, but Alex Trebek probably also was the money that the man has, right?
Yeah, well, I left out the part where my family member didn't want to get treated because the treatment is really rough and really invasive and not really necessarily the best time. So yeah, there's that. So it was a little bit unfair of me to leave that out. Yes. So
no, you're fine.
There's a reason. And he seemed to do very well with the treatments, which I don't know if a lot of people know. It's brutal. So
any form of cancer treatment is, and I'll be honest with you guys, if I ever get diagnosed with cancer, I'm saying no to treatment. I don't want to go through hell just to have my life prolonged for 6 months or what have you. Just pump me full of morphine, do what you can to make me comfortable. But like, if it's, what's the difference between 6 days and in 6 months? Now, had this been a year ago, I probably would have fought for it because I really wanted to play The Last of Us Part 2.
Fair enough.
But it came out, and I played it, and I loved it. So,
Cyberpunk.
At this point, man,
you gotta wait.
Until when it gets delayed every month.
At least one more month. Okay,
I'll give you one more shot, CD Projekt Red. One more. A call back to the first episode of Hardly Focused. I'm so happy that we at least got this from Alex Trebek.
Bum bum be dum bum bay.
Yes, classic.
And I did it exactly like she does, didn't I?
Sorry, I cut someone off. What?
No, I just it's all good. I just was like, he's got a lot of little quit. He did a lot of little. His sense of humor was really interesting.
His sense of humor, he was very sharp, and he also was in tune with modern pop culture. I mean, a lot of the questions would be all current references. The one that stands out is the Leroy Jenkins question on Jeopardy. That was that was big, and like, I would hope that he would at least look over all the questions before having to go tape an episode, and maybe actually look up what, if you didn't understand the reference, look it up to just have some sort of general idea. But like, if he's looking at a World of Warcraft question and just like, who the hell is Leroy Jenkins? Why is someone named Leroy Jenkins significant enough to be a question? Yeah. So, well, rest in peace to Alex Trebek, 80 years old. 1 week after Sean Connery, just the coincidence there. We're not going to get a new SNL next week. They're finally taking a week off. So maybe in a couple of weeks they'll do something. I'm surprised they didn't actually do anything for Sean last night. Although I will say, last night's episode was just a shit show.
I have not seen it yet.
Shit show.
Spoilers.
Well, Chappelle, and B, the episode, a rare preemption of an SNL episode because of the Clemson Notre Dame game that went into I think two
overtimes. Yeah.
2 overtimes. Yeah. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. What a game between two great teams, ladies and gentlemen. What a game.
Is this sport ball?
Harry Carey.
Talking about sports?
I gotta grab
sport ball.
No, I need some jawbreakers. That's what I need. If I'm gonna do a Harry Carey, I need to pump my mouth full of jawbreakers before I start talking, or golf balls or something.
Do it.
But yeah, the Clemson Notre Dame game, which the epitome of social distancing. If you saw the crowd that just emptied into the field. Yeah.
Super spreader event. Yay.
Those numbers just keep going up. Why stop now?
Number one.
Can't stop, won't stop.
So, yeah, it was the SNL last night, a bit of a shit show. I think they just didn't know what to. I think their timing was just thrown off because of the late start.
They're sitting there for an hour and a half going, when are we going to go? When are we going to go? I'm like, yeah.
Interesting.
Like I usually take my shit right after the show, and now I got to hold it in an hour. Oh my God, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that this show, it would have been more together, because this week was a year long.
Well, I think they also, whatever they had planned too for this episode, they had to throw out the window probably because of the yesterday's news with Biden being projected as the winner of the presidential election, and
Wrong. Fake votes.
Voter
Votes.
fraud.
Stop the votes, but keep counting the votes. Count the votes, don't stop the votes. Stop the votes. Votes. 4 seasons. Votes.
Frankie Valli was the best, greatest singer.
I won.
There were only 3 seasons before Frankie Valli came around. I can't name one Frankie Valli song. Wait a minute, did you do that December song?
Yeah,
1963. Yeah. Okay, I hate that song. All right. Well.
It's what a night. Come on.
I hate that song.
Listen to the bass line, man. It's fucking bumping.
Frankie Valli's still around, right? I think he's still alive somehow.
Yeah, he's 86 years old.
Jesus. Yeah, because I know he still performs, or was before COVID. But, we'll talk about Trump and the fun with Trump coming up later in this episode. But the election, for all intents and purposes, is over.
It's weird.
No, it's not. I got a bunch of court cases. He's gonna get through. We're gonna win. That's how we do it. We're winning. We're winning with courts.
Sue. I'm suing them. I'm suing.
God, I hope this isn't a repeat of the 2000 election.
No, there's because it doesn't come down to just one state. There's like 5 states that are like, no, we got this.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Not so. If the numbers still stand the way that the final tallies do, and there's no single back and forth, Biden will end with 306 electoral college votes, which is the exact number that Trump won by, which was a quote unquote landslide amazing victory by Trump.
Yeah.
So karma is just taking a drop kick to Trump's nuts. And I fucking love it.
There was a photo yesterday of Trump when he returned from his golf game. He was out golfing when
Shocker, really? He golfs?
When
I didn't think he'd ever have time for golf, according to him.
How many rounds of golf has he played in the last 4 years? It's like in the 200s, right?
Way more than anyone ever.
Yeah.
No one golfs more than Donald Trump.
And of course he'd be out golfing when the biggest news of the year breaks.
Daytime visits to golf clubs since inauguration, with the evidence of playing golf on at least 144 visits. He's gone to his golf club 284 times.
Wow.
Cost of taxpayers is about 142 million.
Jesus Christ. Wow, I can't believe I was actually in the right ballpark.
TrumpGolfCount.com.
Of course there's a website for it. Yeah.
I mean, I guess
just like there's a tweet for everything, there's a website for everything.
Yeah. There's a photo of Trump coming back from his golf game, and the first thing to notice is the man looks like he's lost a significant amount of weight. I mean,
his mind.
Well, that's far gone and has been far gone. But I would think the COVID diagnosis coupled with the just the stress and just the relentlessness that he's been driving, he doesn't look as bloated as he normally does. But in this photo, though, if you can find
he's only down to 1 Big Mac a day.
He switched to the caffeine-free Diet Coke.
You know what it really was is that all that caps lock typing he did on Twitter, like all the uppercase. Yeah,
he got his reps in.
He got his reps in the uppercasing of all the letters. Most people don't know that. If you go on Twitter and you type in all caps, you lose weight.
Now that's interesting because I know some people who just habitually type in all caps and they only seem to get fatter.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, everybody's body's different. Like everybody has like different experiences. Like, you know, some people like Coke and some people like Pepsi.
And those people are freaks.
Yeah.
That's why I keep both in my fridge. Hey, quickly, by the way, before I talk about this picture, Mike, it's an off-brand Yeti. It's like a mini Yeti, but it's what I got my cafefe in. And it's got the Liberty Mutual logo on it. Of course, I hold it up and the logo is just right there. There you go, Kate.
Liberty.
The worst fucking commercials. Well, I've had my coffee in here for like a half an hour and it's still piping hot.
Dude, I heard great things about the Yeti.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored by Yeti.
Yet.
Yet.
But if they want to.
Anyway, if you find this picture, it was on Reddit, but if you find this picture of Trump, study his face. The look on his face, he just looks... It looks like he's been crying.
Why is the mascara running?
the tan lines.
The Cheeto droplets.
Yeah, there's the little divots in the tan lines on the orange. The bronze is wearing off, but yeah. Ever since like the announcement of okay, all these ballots coming in, we're pretty sure the way everything's going, we're expecting Biden to win, and then Trump coming out with like I definitely won.
Yeah.
All I can think in the audio in my head is fallout from the Raiders. What are you scared? Scared like a little bitch. That's all that plays in my head. Scared like a little bitch. And whenever he does something, I just hear in the background, scared like a little bitch.
You got to watch the opening of SNL last night. It was something that they clearly scrambled together in about 10 minutes. And it's Wolf Blitzer and I think it's John King. I think Alex Moffat's playing John King. John King, by the way, I've never watched so much CNN before. But John King is a goddamn robot. That dude has been standing in front of that magic wall for like the last week.
Well, what actually happened is he went down to the Smithsonian and borrowed FDR's leg braces so that he wouldn't fall over. He actually fell asleep sometimes on that wall, but you never noticed because he wasn't actually able to fall over.
Yes. I mean, it's never a good sign when your segment called Election Night in America continues for like 4 straight days. But
the guy was born in Dorchester.
John King, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Represent.
Yeah. So it's them, and then you got Jim Carrey and Alec Baldwin and Maya Rudolph. Maya Rudolph might as well just rejoin the cast at this point.
At this point, she's got a gig for at least 4 years.
Well, not even that. She's in like she's doing just every segment now. Not just Kamala, but she's in every segment. She was in a segment last night where she delivered a line that I think it's going to be one of those SNL lines that people are just going to be quoting now forever, just because of the delivery of it.
Well, as soon as she finished The Good Place, she got nothing else to do, right?
So they had to, without spoiling it, they had to have been banking on having Jim Carrey as Joe Biden for this moment when we would elect Joe Biden as president. So during the break, Mike and Nate use that break to watch all of SNL.
Okay.
And the Foo Fighters too. Foo Fighters putting on a fucking fantastic performance as always. They surprise released a new song last night and played it on SNL, and it was oh, wow. Let me put it this way: never do I immediately after the performance ends rewind to watch it again.
Oh, normally I see the performance come up and go, I can skip this.
Depends on who, honestly, it depends on who it is. I remember not knowing who Gary Clark Jr. was like a year or two ago, and then he played on SNL, and holy shit, what a great performance. Same thing with The Weeknd and Harry Styles. Like, it's a bit hit or miss these days with SNL and music performances, but I would still argue it's the gold standard.
Yeah.
Not to mention, don't forget, SNL was born out of The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. It was supposed to be the Saturday edition of The Tonight Show. That's why it's follows the format that it does. So NBC wanted,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, NBC wanted Carson to do something on Saturdays, and he's like, "Well, I'm not working 6 days a week, so let's make a variety show that follows the format of The Tonight Show." So that's why you have the musical guest and the comedian.
Oh, interesting.
Or I just like the fact that they got Weekend Updates still, and it always kills.
Yeah, as long as,
especially when they have each other do each other's jokes.
As long as it's not called
really, they're like, I'm gonna have to say something extremely racist, and I'm calling Jost.
I would argue that the worst Weekend Update host was Colin Quinn.
Yeah.
I'm not counting Horatio Sands. Horatio Sands filled in for Tina Fey. She went on maternity leave at one point. He filled in, and
That doesn't count. Yeah.
he was awful, just terrible. But he was also just a fill-in.
I don't want to denigrate Colin Quinn. I don't want to say worst.
I like Colin Quinn. I just don't think he was a great Weekend Update host.
I think he may not have brought anything unique to the table, but he wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It's tough to be bad as a Weekend Update host.
Norm, I feel like Norm Macdonald
gets a bad rap everywhere he goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Norm Macdonald, not a fantastic host, but just because it's Norm Macdonald, like it's just like the fact that the guy just, inhales and exhales, it's somehow funny.
He has such greatness in his timing.
I would say David Spade was bad, but David Spade also was the one that delivered that Eddie Murphy joke that resulted in Eddie Murphy just hating SNL for 20 years. The falling star reference. But yeah, I think I'm having trouble thinking of like, who was around in the 80s that had hosted, but compared to Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, who I forever argue they were the dream team, compared to like Colin and Mike.
Yeah, Dennis Miller, Kevin Nealon.
Dennis Miller and Kevin Nealon they had good like deadpan delivery.
Charles Rocket.
Hey,
Bill Hader,
known for dropping a F-bomb. I think one of the first F-bombs on SNL. Ended up getting fired. He ended up like getting himself and a bunch of people fired for doing that.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
What about Seth Meyers and Cecily Strong?
Oh, I see. I didn't mind Cecily Strong. I know a lot of people were upset because people felt like she had Weekend Update taken away from her.
Okay.
Because she was a woman and got replaced by Colin Jost and then Michael Che, but she wasn't bad. I don't remember really disliking her time. I haven't seen her at all this season too. There's been a lot of people that haven't really been showing up in sketches despite being listed in the cast. Cecily Strong, Melissa Villaseñor.
Ego Nordum.
Sometimes I sit around and I just try to do Don Pardo impressions.
It's pretty good.
Eddie Bryant. Hidden option.
Do me.
Nathaniel Fillers.
Gotta do the surprise turn to the camera. Oh, I didn't see you there.
Oh, hey.
there was an episode I remember Don Pardo, like, for some reason just couldn't make it. I mean, don't forget the guy was like 100 years old. So they had, rather than get like someone like what they're doing now with Daryl Hammond, they got someone to come in and do a Don Pardo impression for that episode, and it was just weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, it'd be like if I was doing Don Pardo's voice. So, look, I want to start with the Biden election, the good, before we get to the bad. So let's take a breather, and then we'll come back. We'll do some chats about Mr.
Hardly folk.
I hit the wrong button. I'm very good at this, as you can see. Let me try that again. We'll come back and we'll do that. But first, what you heard a split second of there was Hardly Shuffled. Our segment we do every week, where we feature the songs that we're currently listening to. And we do have a Spotify playlist that, if you're not following it, you should be. We update it every time we post a new episode of the show. We update the Hardly Shuffled playlist, and you can find that at hardlyfocused.com/shuffled. For real now, here we go.
Hardly Focused
presents
Hardly Shuffled.
Hardly Shuffled.
Check out the songs that we are currently listening to.
Jeff Williams, This Will Be the Day, featuring Casey Lee Williams. Ice-T, Body Count. Emancipator, Greenland. Fleetwood Mac, Silver Springs.
Hear more and follow the Hardly Shuffled playlist on Spotify at hardlyfocused.com/shuffled. hardlyfocused.com/shuffled.
You are listening to Hardly Focused.
On the topic of maniacal individuals, dude, you sounded like Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal.
Hear more at hardlyfocused.com.
Don't try to ever do that again, because that was like a spontaneous thing that was just perfect the way it happened. The Hardly Focused web store, featuring Hardly Focused branded shirts, stickers, and face masks. Spend some of your hard-earned money at hardlyfocused.com/store.